Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again.
Britain is in the grip of a vomiting epidemic caused by nauseating TV adverts.
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen,
on slavery.
almost daily,
Investigating
laughs and facts, served out plainly.
Look at your face.
Your
Like,
dose
what are you
of
going to do with
wit,
that,
it's
Steve?
never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. This is a day. What more could you possibly want? Hello and welcome to the Tuesday special. We're back and I'm back and I'm Stephen Allen. How you doing? I've already got the coffee on the go. This is my TV show. Hi, TV, internet streaming show. What's the microwave doing over there? Microwave. Okay, so I can't speak today. My streaming show with the microphone, not a TV show with a microwave. I'll explain why I might be slightly tired. In fact, you know what? Let's start off with Steve News. I'll give you the full details. Steve News.
24-hour rolling Steve News.
We'll get to the chat in a sec. The Steve News is, the last couple of days, I think I've been tired because I had a few later nights than I realised over the weekend. And I think that was it. I think that's why. So last night I went to bed early. I thought, I'm going to get some sleep. I went to bed at 11. And I think it started to work. But at 2 o'clock, I was woken up by my daughter crying for Daddy because she'd realised how to get things to happen in this world. And she cries, she goes, Daddy, where are you? That's the one that gets you right there, isn't it? Where are you? So I went in and my daughter, she's 2 and she's now started having nightmares. So she was woken up like she had a bad dream. And she was crying. And I throw it back. So what happened? Did you have a bad dream? And she said, yeah. So what happened in the dream, thinking it would be useful for her to tell me what's happened in this nightmare? Obviously, it's not. It's pointless because it's just a dream. But anyway, right? I said, what happened? She went, my brother took my book. Your brother took your book in your bad dream. Christ, if that happened in real life, I didn't expect you to tell me about it. Get another book then. You've got tons. You've got actual awake books and just dream a different book. And crack on with it. I could be asleep right now. So basically, I was up all night dealing with that. It took her 2 hours. 2 hours to go back to bed because her brother took a book in a dream. Someone's going to marry her at some stage and have exactly that to deal with. So there we go. You're up to date with what's happening with Steve. You can join in the chat and tell me what's happening with you. Go to youtube.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen. Here we go. Who was first? Proper Memes, the author of today's thumbnail, was up and running first. Joodles says Secrist, which I think is an Irish name, and it's pronounced Susan. Emsicles says last. I hope not. There's only 3 of them. Need more people than that. Hi-ho Kermit says you are not a salmon. Hang on. You are not a salmon. There's a lot going on in this picture, I'll admit. We'll tell you more about that in a sec. You are not a salmon. All right. That's more blue than you expect, isn't it? I'll explain. But you are a frog. All right, that gets into something. We're talking about Trump and his card. We'll do some of that in a minute as well. Who else is sitting around here waiting for stuff? Charlotte's here. Hello there. I think whilst I was away, I missed a lot of camera angles. There's a lot going on in the cameras. Today's keyboard cam is offline because I'm not wearing shorts. There we go. Hi-ho Kermit. Thankfully, short cam is offline. Yep, it's there, but it's not going to trigger. Reminder to move your monster closer before you start. I didn't think the keyboard camera's on, but all right. Is that better? Coffee, says Joodles. Hello. Oh, coffee's in. That's good. And we're up and running. Right, let's do some of this. Keep the chat going. You're right. I should. It's a paddling pool. That's what's happened there. It's a paddling pool, and this camera is further across than it. You don't need the full. Whoop. Whoop. Wait. Whoop. 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 Okay, well, we'll just leave it where it was. Thankfully, there are some shorts on. Hey, so welcome along to the streaming show where we should be dealing with some stuff that's in the news. Shall we start with the front pages? Why not? Front pages. front pages. The main story today is about Donald Trump talking about a red card thing. And look, Trump admits asking FIFA to review red card for USA. It's not surprising that The Guardian doesn't really like Donald Trump. The same can be said of the front page of, I think it's the, where's the mascot? I think it's the Mirror that we've got next. Mirror foul. Have they mocked it to make it an orange card? I think they have. But it is more shocking when you get into newspapers like the Daily Mail. Ordinarily, one would say more of a fan of Donald Trump, but bend it like Trump, fury over red card foul play. Red card foul play. Red card foul play. Something about the red card, right? Global astonishment. As he said, the World Cup ref who sent the US star striker is suspect. How are you surprised by any of this? It is quite enjoyable to see the people who are normally Donald Trump fans, but you could do a lot. If you're Donald Trump, like a dog, you could shoot people on Fifth Avenue. You could have the leader of Venezuela assassinated. You do that impression you did of the person. You like a dog. They're eating the dogs. You could do all of that, and they will back you every step of the way. But you touch their precious, precious football, and you've gone too far. It's been brilliant. I've been listening to radio phone-ins, watching lots of, like Jeremy Vine style shows. People getting really upset about that. My favourite type of caller is one like this.
I tell you what upsets me, right? Who would have thought that Donald Trump, Donald, love the fella, right? Donald Trump would call up to get some sort of special treatment in the World Cup about a red card. Special treat? I mean, look, what's he ever done before? Nothing. He's straight as a die. Straight as... I mean, he called up Georgia trying to get extra votes. I don't know who she is, but he's just straight as a die. And he called up FIFA. FIFA? What have they ever done wrong? They're absolutely non-corrupt, unimpeachable. Who would have thought that straight as a die, Donald Trump called up straight as a die, FIFA, and got special treatment? I'm absolutely outraged. Anyway, love the show, Steve. All the best.
Thanks for calling. Do you know what I mean? How is anyone shocked by this? And imagine all of that baked on top of that, how little I care about football. The front pages. Hey, Donald Trump tried to get involved in a red... Have you tried getting over it? That's some of the hot take that I've definitely had. Yeah. Ohio Kermit says, you can probably voice over that American dude. The accent really throws me. And do you know what? I was thinking to get around to it today, but I was making stuff. Let's not question why he has a paddling pool in the shed or why it's covered in baby oil. I don't see nothing wrong. Good job the keyboard's not plugged in, otherwise you'd see the shorts. With a little bump and grind. Martin's here. Go Belgium. Did they win? They won, didn't they? So it didn't matter. It fundamentally didn't matter. But also it didn't matter because it's just football. That Donald Trump, I like him, but... Desk balls, says Mr. Cuffin. I'm fairly sure that camera is off. I care less about football than you, Steve. But even I'm aghast. Why are you aghast? What's got you gassed? What's put you up against your own gast? You've been hoisted by your own aghast. Proper Meme says, if I was a footballer, I'd carry a Uno card with me. And if I got a red card, I'd use the reverse card. Good point. Well made. That's the issue here. Not having enough cards. I never saw you as Brian. That's what I'm going to be calling you from now on. Brian Wildered. Yeah, it's a good name for a caller, isn't it? Georgia was a man who thought he was a loner. Paul, thank you. Nice. Some other hot take on this about the Joodles. I read there was something from you earlier on, wasn't there? Let's get into this. Joodles, Trump's red card. A, anyone who thinks FIFA isn't corrupt to the core is a balloon. B, can we imagine Starmer giving it the big un to stick up for anything? Nah, fair play to Big D. You can fault it because just don't be a dick all you... Look, it's only football, right? If you wish to make phone calls and make stuff happen, I know obviously we have a very different opinion of football, but even I'd say to Donald Trump, there are some things you should waste your political capital on. You shouldn't even waste the phone call. It's just a game. You're knocked out anyway now, so I'm sure they'll stop hosting it. They'll be thoroughly taking our ball and going home now that they're not in it anymore. The Donald Trump era America, they're not hosting the rest of this competition. But also it doesn't matter because it's just Just a game. Proper memes. Ghost Flabbard was a supernatural entity in Ghostbusters eating anything. Flabber, yes. I could care less. The Americans need to quit this phrase, says Paul. I agree only with this. I agree only on this with David Mitchell. They don't get it right, do they? Well, they say math instead of maths because they've only got one. There's a lot going on with that country. But what they don't need to do is get involved in red cards. Who gives a poop? Top trumps should be in footy, cheaper and quicker than all that huffing and puffing. Paul, I agree with you on that, which through the transitive properties of agreement, I thusly agree with David Mitchell on something. And Ems says, close to the vest, too. Is that what they say? Or is that a German accent you're doing there? I don't know what's happened. Should we move on to the... Well, actually, I don't even think we've not got past this yet, have we? Everything you need to know about protecting your skin in a heat wave. If I were you, I'd have a paddling pool, some baby oil. I've got loads of that hanging around. I'm not saying it's a freak off. Why did they give it 3 stars as well? That's a really weird one. And then front page of The Times also goes with that story, do they? Oh, no, they don't. Men, should you wear shorts at work? I probably should because there's a camera pointing up my monster. But I haven't. No need to seek work for 100,000 with ADHD. Let's zoom in, should we? Cases up 40% since Labour came to power. Labour have been causing people to have ADHD. Wow. I thought, if anything, the last lot would have caused ADHD. The fact that you had to learn the new name of a prime minister every 6 months really made it hard. Don't stop people with ADHD from looking for work. Because if you do, there will never be any more stand-up comedians. Everyone I know is getting a late-in-life diagnosis of ADHD. You say to them, why didn't you get round to it sooner? Oh, no, I suppose that makes sense. More than 100,000 people with ADHD are being paid disability benefits. Surely if anyone could do work, not focus work, but generalised lots of work, it's ADHD people, isn't it? In this modern-day gig economy where you have to have a portfolio career, you've got 3 different things you do for a living. That's exactly that. It's what I do. Straight after this, I'll be paying attention to try and get some voiceovers, then going out for a run, then coming home and trying to book gigs. It's exactly the... Did you hear that? Okay. There's an apple tree above this shed. And at this time of year, I'm getting donked by the old apples. Donked by the poms. Official statistics show that the government has approved an average of 40 personal independence payments, PIP, a day over the past 2 years. Wowzers. Yeah, honestly, we're getting the people who can only pay attention to one thing at a time to be our workforce. No wonder we're crippled. Right. Maybe it's mathematics. I'll go to the top. Bloody colonials, says Chris Hood, which it should be the subtitle of this show, shouldn't it? Mr. Cuff says, I thought top trumps was a fart chart. A fart chart? No, a fart chart is different. A fart chart. Yes, like the Bristol stool thing. A free cough, says Joodles. There you go. Don't fry your ginger skin in baby oil, says Hi Kermit. Thank you. No one says I'm out in the sun in this. I put the paddling pool out yesterday in the shade. Of course I did. I didn't get in it. I'm also too big for the paddling pool. If math is short for mathematics, then they do have a point. We don't abbreviate for the plural in other things. Yeah, we do, but I just can't think of any right now. Mind those camera angles. You may get inside the truths. Donald, where's your trousers? Oh, we don't have a truths cam at the moment. Why didn't you get around to it sooner? Exactly. Staring in the face. We do. We say pecs for pectoral muscles. Oh, not pec. Oh, that's good. Oh, I knew someone could think of it. Thank you. You're doing a lot of the hard, heavy lifting for me, which explains the pecs. They denied mine, the swines. ASMR. Oh, Martin, inside the truths. Don't. This is not. No, we're not doing a jingle. Even though, straight away, I'm thinking we could do a sketch where some of the news is read out from a camera pointing, like I animate a pattern on my boxer shorts. Stop it with the ideas. We shouldn't be doing ideas like this. There's the front pages. Shall we get inside the truths?
Let's get inside the news.
close enough. Right, let's. By the way, Colin's going on there, and we should take a second. My contrast has gone a bit on that. Look at that. That is, look at the amount of light we've got thrown over here. Batman. This is a small version of a Toyota Yaris. Colin Cam. Batman. This isn't a Transformer. It's a knockoff Transformer for when I had a radio show, and I was complaining one Christmas about the things you wanted as a kid but didn't get, and you should be over it by the time you're in your 40s, but I wasn't. I love Transformers, never got Transformers. Always got some GoBot BS. And then someone sent one in. Thank you. Ukulele and Batman mask. You're up to date. Also, while we're here, while we're on this camera. It was an ordinary day in the office. Trying to write jokes about the World Cup. Seemed that Donald Trump didn't like people being given red cards. He didn't like people being given green cards. I guess he really didn't judge based on color. It was then a dame walked in, legs so long, she had to put her knickers on the top of her head like a bonnet. She said she had a case. Asked me if she could leave it with me until she picked it up later to go to the airport. I said to her, "You treat this place like a hotel." We've done all we're going to do on that one. That's, you're up to date. All right, inside the news. Get out of it, Colin Cam. Shall we start with this? There's two stories on this one, actually. Farage's rage at reporter. Imagine that's how you say it. Farage's rage at reporter. Nigel Farage, I'm turned around on this one now, was yesterday filmed raging at a TV reporter when asked about financial support he received from a convicted fraudster. Same thing is in this story as well, talking about Nigel Farage. Farage is under mounting pressure to level with the public over money given to him by a convicted criminal. That's the problem, isn't it? I don't think we would have paid attention to it if it weren't for the £5 million gift. Quite the gift. If you'd have given me £5 million instead of a Transformer, I'd have shut the F up about GoBots. But that's not how my life panned out. But now this is the theme. Nigel Farage and money. People are looking into it, and they found that he seems to have had some sort of benefits. Yeah, staying at some bloke's flat. But the bloke in question, a bit of a wrong 'un. And I will say this, right? This is one of the guy was George Cottrell, right? He's a money launderer. He's trying to get a pardon from Trump. He's busy trying to get a pardon for the red cards. How annoying must that be for George Cottrell? Being like, mate, stop faffing with the red cards in football. I'm trying to get out of prison. Right, because he was found guilty of some sort of fraudy thing. But the interesting thing is, he wrote a book called How to Launder Money. I criticised the Labour government loads for its bad optics. Come on, Farage, think it through. If you're getting any sort of benefits from a mate, and your mate has written a book called How to Launder Money, it's going to look bad. You should see that coming. And this is not the establishment. I'm not the establishment. I'm not trying to attack him. Let's reframe it this way, right? If I worked with a woman and my missus thought, you guys are getting a bit close, and I said, no. And then the woman in question wrote a book called How to Have an Affair with a Married Middle-Aged Man, I'd probably have to just let it go and realise I ain't going to win this fight. I certainly wouldn't go out and buy her next book, How to Cover Up an Affair with Someone Who's Written a Book About It, by the same person as the last one. But you got to know when to fold them. And that is the time to fold them, isn't it? It's not going to look good if you're getting any sort of help from someone who's written a book called How to Launder Money. End of sermon. Rant of the day. Done.
Daily rant.
Wagwan in the chat. He had to go to Sky News. Yeah, but it was the ITV these days, isn't it? Paul says Nigel is making an announcement at 2 about his future. The formers deserve their own spaces. Oh, I don't know what we're talking about there. The Transform. Oh, good. I just got that. Not in favour of Transformers. Formers deserve their own spaces. If someone had served their time, then the conviction is spent. Optics, though, I agree with you, but optics. Imagine, if you will, it was whichever party you don't like did it. That's the mental test everyone should have to check before they say a thing, but they don't. Has he been to Clackerton yet? Probably not. No Kerms, they're just in disguise. The robots in disguise. From GoBots to Russian bots, Steve's life is cursed. Good point. That sounds like a place where the desk nuts belong, says Charlotte. Well, where? I don't know, but I think they're up for it. I was getting pardoned first. Yeah. Where else are we going? I've been doing friends with benefits wrong, clearly. Ems, tell us more in the chat. I've been doing friends with PIP benefits. I wouldn't do if I were you. They're not going to do much, are they? And at least they're readily available. I'm getting confused about what we're talking about. We're talking about desk nuts. They're not readily available yet. Martin says, I'm not a bot, which is exactly what a bot would say. On to the next topic. Well, I suppose we should finish the football. Hang on. We don't need that because we do need the football jingle. Football.
World Cup 2026. Soccer? I hardly knew her.
So, England won. I don't actually have that as a headline. I think England, we won, didn't we? We won a thing? Yay! Come in, you England. I am very happy about that. You know, I don't really like football, but I do like England winning things. Football, Eurovision, wars. It's a fine line between nationalism and patriotism, isn't it? Is it racist to want your country to beat less developed, backward nations? That sentence probably is. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, England won some football. Yay, woo. It's just nice to just win a thing, isn't it? I don't get many wins in life, so fair enough. Obviously, it happened late. I ain't staying up for that. Tell me the result the next morning. So that's good. There's been some downside from it, though. I did see this story that, there he is. Oh, no, someone thought, have you been involved in an accident at work and it wasn't your fault? Jordan Henderson suffered a horror wrist injury. A horror wrist injury. You try saying it. When he tripped over an advertising hoarding celebrating England's win. Oh, he's only a midfielder as well. So, but you want a good fielder. You don't want a midfielder. I know sport. There's definitely a sport that uses fielders, and this one is a bit mid. So he's a bit mid. But he's broken his wrist, isn't he? He's damaged his wrist. You can still play, can't you? Football. Other than the goalkeeper, they should all have their wrist broken. It was the one thing that would stop a rehash of the hand of God thing. You try tapping it with your hand when you got a broken metacarpal. Anyone name a metacarpal? Scaphoid. There we go. There's one that's shaped as well. Is there a trapezium one in there, is there? How many bones are there in the metacarpals? Those one. I think the scaphoid fracture's the dodgier. That's the one at the base of the thing. That's the one that doesn't get the good blood flow. You get a scaphoid fracture, you're struggling. What do you mean I'm a nerd? They should all have their wrist. They should all have a fractured scaphoid. It would make the game fair. Thank you. You're up to date. While we're doing football news, we've also got this one. Rooney in awe of Norway. Wayne Rooney is to row down the Mersey after losing a bet that Brazil would beat Norway. Okay. I've not been to the Mersey for a good long while. I've only ever seen it once. I'll tell you what, I would not do that on the Thames. I've seen what's in the Thames, and it's all fun and game until someone gets a disease. But fair enough. Fair enough. If that's what he's into. And then what's the other story from there? Just covering up. Oh yeah. Kia KO start shift. The PM helped to stop FIFA changing the kickoff time at the Aztec. Oh, there you go. Joodles, you were saying, can you imagine Keir Starmer stepping up? Yeah, apparently he did. It makes no difference, mate. Stop trying to get us to like you now. It's like when someone, it's like a divorced couple when they still live together, suddenly start being on best behavior. That ship has sailed. Do not worry about doing things for us. You get yourself some free glasses before that dries up. There you go. Cast of God says proper memes. Yes. What more do they need? He's from Sunderland. Okay. Isn't a horrorist a clockmaker? Horologist. So close. Missed it by that much. There are 3 E's in 17, see. As human as the next person. Oh, you're showing how many fingers you got. Yeah. How many fingers can you draw? How many fingers am I holding up? My aunt, says Paul, was offering us squeezed chocolate to go on ice cream. And after saying, "Do you want some chocolate?" she did a lady burp and said, "Pardon." To this day, 40 years later, we call it a chocolate pardon. Do you know the history to a chocolate pocket? Because you're in the right show if you like chocolate-related euphemisms. The Thames is full of charity rowers. Oh, no. Worse than the bacteria I was thinking of. Stop making it about you, Wayne, really. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we lost a bet, and it's just... Your day has gone. He'll be raising money just to try and pay off his missus's credit card bill. The sound of a backdoor apology, says Mr. Cuff. I'm not sure what one of those is. Our school teachers rode down the Irwell on homemade rafts. We threw things at them. It was a simpler time, wasn't it? That was before the internet. Yes, but horologist doesn't rhyme with horrorist. Well, it almost does, doesn't it? And can I get a chocolate pardon, please? I mean, you could approach Donald Trump with that offering. I'm not sure that's what he's into. But as an experiment, my hating football and knowing nothing about it, I bluffed a whole conversation about it at work. It is possible to do, just by stringing together cliches. Steve's been doing it for months on the actual telly. I've been doing it on the actual telly. I started to feel bad. Because now there's I was on GB the other day, and sometimes they'll clip 1 or 2 things you say as oh, look, this person was on telly. Here's his opinion on something. And one of the ones they picked was my little analysis of England's performance. I feel sorry for the internet. I don't mind wasting some carbon, but a server farm somewhere has to store the zeros and ones of a recording of me prattling on about England's performance. It ain't right. A chocolate pardon right in your chocolate pocket, says Kevin. Well, there's any chance of a vanilla you what? My childhood is solid. It was an innocent story. That for those of us who grew up in you grew up in the 80s, 70s, those kind of eras. You look back and realized even the bloke on the TV was trying to nonce you up. How did we survive? Literally, your childhood in the 80s was, why don't you write a letter to that nice weirdo who does marathons? You can't even outrun him. Now then, as it happens, I have a letter. He was already wearing the running kit. Jingle, jangle, jewelry might slow me down, but I've got the trainers. The 70s. Yeah, it was a terrifying time. A terrifying time. He was on his mark, set, go. Now I have a letter here, what says, on your marks, get set, and go. I'll give you a head start. Right, we've done the football. Into the world of entertainment news. Wagwan. Declan Donnelly, Deck, as you probably know him, has revealed he suffers from misophonia, admitting the sound of people eating leaves him feeling really upset. I'm not even sure it's a real thing. So look, misophonia, technically a condition where you can't stand the sound, you can't stand sounds, but it always seems to be the same flipping sounds, isn't it? Misophonia should just mean certain sounds wind you up. But why is it always other people eating? I just don't believe that most people have it. I think they're all flipping narcissist main character syndrome. Just because you're not eating, you don't like the sound of the people eating. Yeah, we all should be paying attention to you. Me eating is more important than you not hearing it. Fact. Obviously, I've have history with this. I was on Talk a while ago, and I did my little semi-funny rant about that. Well, that's my take on it. Me having the life-sustaining calories is more important than you going on about whether you like the sound of it or not. Oh, it really annoys me when I hear that beep of someone's machine in the hospital measuring their heart rate. Grow up. Beep, beep, beep. Someone playing Pong. Beep. No, it's keeping them alive. It's not about you. So anyway, I did my little rant on the radio and received on social media, someone was very upset that I would say to he was a misophonia sufferer, said it was wrong for me to be making light of this life-limiting condition. How dare I express that an opinion? And I replied saying, "So you've heard something you didn't like. There's a surprise." So it didn't help. But most of the people who think they've got misophonia have simply just been married for a while. Oh, the sound of them breathing, just right that. Maybe there are some genuine sufferers, but the rest of this does not read like Deck is a genuine sufferer. The Britain's Got Talent host, 50, said, "Why, I mean like, I got this thing. There's a condition, man, pet, man, where you canny bear. Misophonia. I got that, man. I don't like people eating and licking." Licking? I mean, no one really likes the sound of eating and licking, do they? Right? No one likes that. You're not special. "Why, I manned up at a recent airport encountered it." This is not even a quote, so I don't know why I'm doing it in the voice. A woman sat opposite him, eating really noisily from a bag of... It really upset me. Oh, I stared at her. "You just looked hungry, you pillock." You're up to date. "Why, I like cake. I don't like cake." Oh, it's a thing, says Ems. Wait till Deck hears Steve drinking. Wait till Ant hears me drinking. He'll be back on the wagon. Or off it, whichever one's... If the wagon's licensed. Why does Ant hate Deck? Because when it comes to women, all hands on deck. Hey. Really, Deck? Bush Tucker? It was on a podcast called the Bush Something Podcast, wasn't he? Or the Full Bush or something? I'm sorry, if you're on that and you're talking about licking. People who lick their plates, I find queasy, I must admit. Well, in public, I suppose. Deck has a new business to get him by, a whole new line in garden items and outdoor chairs, often used on the beach. Deck. Black and Decker? I'll work on that one. Bush Tucker is when a man hides his willy between his thighs. Like a transformer. If you were, and I'm not saying you are, but if you were someone who goes by whichever gender, when you did the tuck in, I think you should make the noise. Where is he? Oh, you can't see me in that one. It's a shame not to. You're wasting your own time. It's your own time wasting. Jamaica Deck. No, he went of his own accord. All these people walking about audibly breathing. Oh, winds me right up. Mickey Mouse is a Macam. ITV is sinking, and they're arranging the deck chairs. Door-to-door selling wooden patios is hardest job in the world. You ask, do you want decking? You can get a punch on the nose. Geordie racism, why I? Why I man pet your nagwan? Sarah Jamilican. The Mr. Cuff. A lad I was in school with, I'm guessing, had a metal plate in the back of his head. We called him the Messy Eater. All right, beautiful work. Beautiful work. Hang on. Where's Colin Cam gone? Where's flipping Colin Cam? I think it was called Use This. No address. Oh, the Colin Cam man. Why I pet yaguana. Sorry, new phone, struggling. I can't read, that doesn't help, but we're still doing this, aren't we? My brother auditioned for the part that either Ant or Deck got in Baker Grove, man, Petjana. Missed it by that much, eh? Yeah. Back into, there's so much to do today, we should, oh yeah, well, just a quick hit on this story. Bees show their emotions through facial expressions, such as licking their lips. Poor old Deck. Just trying to relax. Bzzz. Oh, why I man, I can't stand up, bee man. Wagwan. Nah. Don't like that one as much. What's this one? Oh, no, we'll do this one. This might be a bit big for the screen. There you go. There's that. That's in fashion news. Normally we do a story about a seagull. Honestly, if she came at me like that, I think she was going to try and eat me chips. And then Deck would hate it. Who is it? Emma Corrin? Never heard either. Ruffles feathers in a wacky look in Paris Fashion Week. The Crown Star 30 sported an eye. I mean, it is eye-catching, but if that's all you can be eye-catching by looking like a pillock. I could do that. If we had the keyboard cam on today, you'd call it eye-catching. You'd call it a certain type of eye-catching that we're not going to say in the chat without getting banned. What I like about this is not a lot. But I will say this. I like the idea, the mental image idea of she's walking down the street and then you get like some workman giving it some, "Wait, look at that bird." And the next one's like, you can't say that these days. And then, fair enough. And that's what I got for you there. You're up to date with, there you go. That's all we had. One-man goon show meant as a compliment. If it's close to not being one, though, isn't it? To be or not to be. Hang on. Leo's joke about the guy at school with one arm longer than the other, called Clock, is a goodie. Do you know, I used to do, I got in trouble actually back at the start of my stand-up career, doing Jeremy Beadle material, saying, big hand, small hand, and a something face. I can't remember the thing now. The Jeremy Beadle used to be a secretary. He's really good at shorthand. There was a whole bunch of them, and it's this attempt at Geordie will never not be hilarious. What do you mean attempt? I'm good at accents. I've got an equity card. Somehow that means a thing. I knew a chap with one arm called Bandit. Well, again, that's a good point. Well made. Proper memes. She'll put someone's eye out with those boobies. Well, maybe that's what they're for. Maybe it's a safety thing. I loved it when Bo Selected depicted Ant and Deck as very shaky and couldn't stand still. The next time they were on, like, oh yeah, they're a bit like that, aren't they? It's all the medication for ADHD. Lovely plumage. Excuse me, miss. I'm sorry, I have a cold. Is that who your man picked up to beat the other guy with? Puts a new slant on the seagull news. This is why I've painted eyes on the back of my head to keep her away. Punchable face. That was it. Have you seen my material from the old days? I did that material when there was a BBC New Act competition on BBC Choice. That's how well things are going for me. I think you look lovely, says the outfit is for Pride Month. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and quill. LGBTQ. Is that one? You live and learn, don't you? Live and learn. I think we're done with the coffee. Before we move on to the second part of today's show, we should...
Energy drink of the day. Keeps the yawns and the slumps away. Can't hear it fizz and spray. Wake me up, take me away.
Netflix and quill. Good point, well made. How about this one? Having fun bad for us. A staggering 70% of us say a packed social calendar is having an effect on our health. Boo Kinhu. That story again. Oh, I'm just so popular. I actually think it's really bad for my health. So in one swift move, I've made myself sound so great and yet somehow still be the victim of the situation. So I couldn't possibly do anything because I'm just so ill because I'm so popular. What do you mean I'm annoying? Oh my God. If going to a thing is making you ill, don't do it. You're up to date. That logic is based on the wise words of Sir Tommy Cooper. I went to the doctors the other day. How have I not got a feds around here? This feels like the kind of, is there no, feels like the kind of place can we get a feds? I got a Batman mask, but I'm not quite sure that would help. I went to the doctors the other day. I said, it hurts when I do this. He said, well, don't do it. That logic is the logic you need to just shut up about this stuff. I'm just so popular. I think it's making me ill. And stay in, pillock. And finally, in terms of the news stories, have a look what's going on with this one. Oh, pressing buttons. There's not a lot of space to fit all this in, but I should be so sorry, says this guy. So here's the main story, right? Aussie PM grovels after saying he'd, and I think you can broadcast the word shag. It's a carpet and a tobacco, isn't it? So I think we'll do it. He'd shag Kylie. How very dare. What a scum. Let's read on before we judge. No, let's judge first. Oh, what kind of a typical loutish. I mean, I'm summing up an Australian. What kind of an Australian would say they want to shag Kylie Minogue? Yes, of course you should apologise. Let's read on and see what the actual story's about. Australian PM Anthony Albanese has issued an apology after saying he would shag Kylie Minogue. Would rather than will. It's a step in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? Albanese, who remarried just last year. Oh, what a scum. Was on a podcast. A comedian said, shag, marry, date Kylie Minogue, Nicole Kidman, or Rhonda Birchmore. And he said, I just got married. So he literally did. So, right, it's not like he was just sat there. It's not like it was a meeting in Parliament. Any other business. Yeah, mate, I got one other bit of business. I'm going to shag that Kylie Minogue, mate. It's truth. He just didn't do it. He was asked, pick one. And he said, I'm not going to pick one. But let's imagine things go tits up at some stage. If we have to play your hypothetical thing, then I guess which order did he pick? I mean, clearly picked Kylie Minogue for the shag. I'm guessing Nicole Kidman for the marry. I don't know who Rhonda Birchmore is for the date. That's in the wrong order as well, isn't it? He didn't come up with the categories. There's no insult. Is there an insult there? I'm an old man now. Shag, marry, avoid. There's one insult there. Because if he would have said, I'll tell you who I'm definitely not going to shag, mate. Kylie Minogue. Then that. Speaking at his official residence, he said, I've only got married recently, only 6 months. Whose fellow Aussie went on, but if it goes tits up. And he said he would clearly love to get randy with Kylie Minogue. Osborne then said you'd marry Kylie and shag her and date her. To which he said, all of the above, mate. What was he meant to say? Honestly, I struggle to work out what's going on here. Whoop, stay there. We got to go a bit higher up to work out what's going on here. Earworm time, yes. Not the 9 o'clock news did a sketch about Beetle where the gag was. They killed their family to see if they were game for a laugh. Paul says, gigs suit you, sire, in Islington. Let's get back. Is that Sydney Sweeney? No, because there's a jingle for that. Does anyone else see Kylie wearing a mouse face? Is it this thing? Is this? Oh, hello. No, I don't see it. Can you get Natalie and Bruley as a bonus too? I don't think it's like a buy one, get one for... Look, I don't know. All worth it for that Struth. Exactly. Wow, your Geordie is actually really good. Natalie, now I'm torn. So would she... Good job we didn't finish that one. Albanese's nickname went from Albo to Asbo. The interviewer sounds a bit crook. And definitely a glah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A flaming one at that, yeah. Has someone been watching too much Cartoon Head? Oh, I've not seen it, but it sounds... Right, are you thinking of anime porn? Is that what you call it? Anyway, no, I don't think he did a baddie. Not to then have to apologise. Someone says, whom would you do these things with? And the fact that he dare answer means that other politicians are saying he has to apologise, and then he's apologized. Meanwhile, we also should have done this. Hello, I'm Colin. Just let me take a second to say you could go to kofi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen and donate some money. It'll keep that big fella in food and help me get this weird hand removed. What's that doing there? Oof. Bye. So, thank you very much. Any more of the chat coming through before we do what's going on? Sea Joodles. Coffee knows Ideal. He's cool AF too. I have no idea what you're talking about. But it sounds like it's up my street. We should update you to see what's happening in my career, which is not often a lot. So it's enjoyable that I actually get to do this.
Here are the plugs where you can see Steve and Helen all this week.
It's true. But plugs. Tonight, I'm off to Redbourne. I think that's somewhere near St Albans. So that's good. Doing some stand-up comedy. It's probably going to be a bit warm, isn't it? So then Wednesday night. That's Wednesday on BBC One. No. GB News 11, reviewing the news. Is there any football? Because you people in the chat know about football. Will there be football on Wednesday? Do I have to have an opinion about it? Thursday, 12 o'clock, Almost Daily. We're back, talking about the news for a while. Then Friday, Almost Daily, Live and Loose, which the keyboard cam will be on then, so get ready if you want to see my sugar-free monster. Bethnal Green that night. I'm not sure if that's how you spell it. I'm not sure what those letters are. I was in a rush. And then Saturday, Times... This is the kind of schedule that I need. Something every day. Times Radio, 5:30 p.m, talking about the news. That night, I'll get a coffee. I'll go from London Bridge, nip over to Bethnal Green, tell some jokes on stage, bish, bash, bosh, and then flipping Sunday. Oh, Daddy's making dollar. And take that to the bank. Oh, my casters are in the way. Sunday, GB News, 7 o'clock, doing some of that. That's what we've needed all along. Oof, I needed that. Although I think you got a good point. Who is it? I just saw it in the chat. I've missed it. See Jude, and I've read that one. The pair of you are too cool for me. Well, they probably are, aren't they? This is where you find the cool people in the chat. Seems like the bottle of sherry for the Sheilas broke the ute. Best lager advert, yeah. Yeah. I'm re-watching Coffee. Jenny just got stabbed. She's from the block. That kind of stuff's going to go down. Joodle says, aren't those two wee ropey things already Colin's arms? I don't really know. I think the wee ropey things are the arms. I don't know why he's got arms for legs. He's got enough problems going on. It's a game of two halves. It is. Fantastic show. Bloody genius. I mean, you're not talking about this one, but I will be using that on posters. In the chat for this show, those words have been said. First round of qualifying, for the Champions League on Wednesday. Nah, is it? Is that? How many footballs can be on at once? How many balls are there? And where was the one that says no stomach thing? I've missed the thing. Was it M's? There we go. Update. Steve doesn't have a stomach bug. Yep. No, I think I'm feeling much better. If you listen to the audio-only podcast, you'll realise my stomach was bad again yesterday and the day before, and it's the third time I've had it recently. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm probably old. I can't eat many things these days. Everything's collapsing. You're not meant to live past 40-something. You know what I mean? We evolved to do a good 40 years, and then beyond that stage, It all starts to go wrong, doesn't it? My knee, I can't eat eggs now. One of the wheats gets me. I think it's bulgur wheat or something. I bought an M&S sandwich quite a few years ago now. Bought an M&S sandwich with bulgur wheat in the bread or some crap like that. Ropped up for a couple of days. So, but at the same time, the regular upset stomachs, they're keeping me trim. I saw my profile as I walked past the boozer yesterday, and my gut's not sticking out, so maybe I should have more of this illness. First, I've read that one. When Colin came on, I was in the other room and thought you were playing Harry Kane's post-match interview. Oh, bless. I did not think it improved the interview. They all should have silly voices like that. Say hi to Howie. I always do. I think Bethnal Green is an East London cough medicine. Ropey things are Colin's desk nuts. No, his desk nut turned into a hand. That's the kind of horror dream you should have, as I say to my daughter. Oh, I had a nightmare. My brother took one of my books. Imagine your leg turns into a hand because you are a stuffed toy forced to perform on a streaming show. That is a nightmare, love. It's all the Monster drink. There is a, yeah, you're right. Because I have the sugar-free ones. I'm taking a lot of chemicals that shouldn't be in there. My knee is giving me jip. We're not, we should be quadrupedal. It was all working out for us until we stood upright. I blame Lucy. That's the phrase we should have on a t-shirt. We've been looking for more branding opportunities. I blame Lucy, and then just a picture of Australopithecus afarensis. Because in many ways, it is all her fault. Oh, no, the patriarchy blaming women. But literally, if you'd mind your own beeswax and stayed in the tree, all of a sudden, which is also my Jimmy Savile impression from earlier, if you notice. Now then. Oh, bless you, Joodles. £1.99. Let's do the... I don't have a camera. I don't have a camera to show you how much look, making profit. Oh, wrong one. No. Anyone got a camera? Oh, I'm making bank. Only £1.75 for this bad boy. Although I will admit, I did not pay £1.75. I bought these in bulk off the internet. So, I blame Lucy Van Pelt. Is she Australopithecus? I never asked about the surname. How rude of me. Australopithecus afarensis. Lucy, but I never met her. I should be calling her Ms. whatever her name is. Presuming she wasn't married. You know what I mean? If she was married, she just would have calmed it down and stayed in the tree and stopped trying to lock your legs. Joodles is paying to see Steve's Monster. Listen, it's not as if that service is not available if I struggle. This week, you can see I've got enough work. Next week, maybe not so much. I've had to go gluten-free too. And the substitute on my online order for GF pasta was a tiny box of dinosaur-shaped pasta. Amazing. Did it have gluten in it? She's definitely not married. She hates men. What, Lucy? Australopithecus afarensis. That's why she got out of the tree. She was flipping sick of them. We don't even need to pay. That's a good point. Damn it. My business model is not... Chris, bless you. Do you want to see my monster? There we go. How is that harder to aim than... Look at that. Look at that. That monster blends in with the background. Let's celebrate their first Super on a live stream, YouTube says to me. Woo! I never pay more than 49p for Monster. Well, I don't know what I buy these in bulk off the old internet. So they are coming in cheaper. Takes a while to get here, though. And dinosaurs are gluten-free. That's true. I could get 4 for that. All right. But they do ruin the climate. Are we talking about my monsters? My monster ruins the climate? How about it dare? ASMR. Listen, thank you very much for watching. You can go to ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen, but thank you for the ones that happen here. I'm new to that. I don't really know where they go yet, but I'm learning. Because now that I'm a partner with YouTube, which means I think I'm sexually exclusive with YouTube. Actually, I know. The point is, subscribe, click all the buttons, whatever. Thank you for the dosh coming in here. You want to try to new internet, says Hi Kermit. I'll have a look at that. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That Lucy is the issue with mind expansion and the acronym. Oh, that one. So is that why we came down from the trees? High as a kite, which is weird because you'd normally find kites in trees rather than they're not going to get snagged in a bush. You're thinking of from Ant and Deck or Deck. Can't tell the difference. Dino Burger, says Chris Hood. Thank you. I barely knew her. I think we're basically sorted. Ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. Substack, I've really been failing in that again. I don't need to get my day organised. Subscribe to the audio one, though. I've had a nice meeting. I've got some people coming on board to revamp my audio-only podcast. It's going to be the hottest thing on the internet. Sweet mama. And then we're up to date. Thursday, midday for another one of these ones. Can you resist being gazumped by the BBC on YouTube? I don't know. If they'd pay for any of this, I would definitely take them. I'd take some of that dirty BBC money. In fact, I do have some more dirty BBC money coming up. I've got... Paul, thank you. I'm back on 5 Live next month, start of August. They booked me in for one. But until then, we can pretend I've been...
Lawless.
Wrong one. Because if that's what gets me booked, because being cancelled helps, but then obviously start of next month, I'm not cancelled until I do that show, and then afterwards we could pretend again. If anyone would like to book me for the BBC or ITV, do get in touch. Me at mrstephenallen.co.uk for emails. I should plug that more. There's a Discord. Track that. The link's in the thing. You're up to date. Till next time, bye.
Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again.
Britain is in the grip of a vomiting epidemic.
we show.
Nauseating TV adverts
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen,
on slavery.
almost daily. Laughs and facts served out plainly. You're dosing wit, it's never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
Now then, get out of this tree.